So I'll be starting. What I'm going to do is I wouldn't take my time over explaining anything. I will just try to go as fast as possible and get this over with. We would probably move to another platform henceforth where I would be able to have total control on the noise. I just felt using WhatsApp would be easy for everyone. But as it is, as people join, they don't understand that muting the mic would help the process. So I'll just begin. I was excited when I started, but somehow it's beginning to get dampened. So let me start. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So good evening, everyone. And I want to start today's session with something that is very honest, right? A very honest question. We'll be talking about AI, but I want to quickly take us down memory lane. Remember when we were all using chalkboards? I don't know if we have teachers here who used chalkboards where when you finished writing on the board, your hands are white, your clothes are white, your face is white because you're using chalks on the board. Then the advent of whiteboards came, and then we started using whiteboards. And we dropped the chalk and started using markers, right? Then after that came the internet, and everyone started using the internet. And I remember then when we had interviews, we'd ask teachers that, are you computer literate? Do you know how to use the computer? Are you proficient in Microsoft tools? Are you mention the tools that you are very proficient in? Let's know what you can do with the system. Can you type your exam questions by yourself, or you rely on the school to do that for you? So all these questions we are asking, and to some extent, it helped us to determine who we're going to employ and who we couldn't employ. As time went on, something called it was being computer literate, and then we progressed towards using the internet, right? So were you able to use search engines to enrich your classrooms? Because some could only type on MS Word and weren't able to use search engines to enrich their classrooms. So that was also a phase for me as well while interviewing teachers. And then AI came out. And that was, I remember the outburst came in November 2022. It was just an outrage. Everybody, not an outrage though, it was quite overwhelming. Everybody was excited. Everybody was shocked. Everybody couldn't understand. Well, not everybody. Some people that contacted me didn't particularly understand what AI meant because it was just beyond our imagination. So I created a course because I love to learn. So I learned about it and I created a course for educators then. Back then, I think it was 2022, 2023. And when I did that, some people reached out to me to tell me that it was dangerous. That it was dangerous and that I shouldn't, it's not something I could get involved in. And I listened to the person and I just acknowledged her concerns, but I had understood what AI meant. I knew that it was learning about us and it was giving us back. It was trying to mimic the way we thought or the way we think. And then it gave us responses based on what we fed it. So I kind of understood something. I kind of understood what AI was about. So I didn't really indulge in arguments or conversations regarding whether it was okay or not. But I just kept on improving on myself and trying to understand what AI was about. So everybody started talking about AI. Everyone started learning about AI. And then it was something that was far away from what we were doing. It was so far from the practice of education that a lot of educators didn't understand that they needed to incorporate it in their classroom, in their studies, in their schools. And those who understood it made use of it. Those who didn't make use of it. And it kind of, I got to realize while communicating with so many people that a lot of us were way behind. A lot of us were still writing lesson plans. A lot of us were still typing lesson plans. And I was just wondering, where are we? Where are we? What is wrong? Why are we sleeping on this? You know, it's like saying that. Then I think I met a few people who spoke about not using AI in the classroom, not using AI for assignments and things like that. You know, there are certain things that, they come in and then they go, and certain things come to stay. When AI came, for some reason, I knew it came to stay. And if we didn't take advantage of what it had brought, we were going to be the ones to be left behind. Okay. So let me quickly begin so it doesn't, we don't take much of our time. So I want to ask us, when was the last time, when was the last time is it that we don't read? Don't we read what to put on the chat? Don't we read? People come in and they are still noisy. Don't we read? Oh boy. All right. So let me try not to get distracted because I'm quite excited about what we're going to do today. I tried as much as possible to see how I could gather a few things so that you would go back and research. My own method of teaching or training is not spoon feeding because I believe that we have a level of should I say cognitive abilities that should help us do the rest of the thinking for ourselves. So what I'll do is I'll drop the ideas and then please run with it. If I were going to explain everything here, it's not going to help us. We're going to waste so much time, and a lot of people will say they don't understand. So let's just pick what we can and see how we can multiply it and be creative about the knowledge and make the best of it in our schools. So let me tell you something. The moment you typed, or should I say, let me see. Let me put it this way. Some of us have been using AI for so long and we never knew that it's AI. So I would tell you that once you go into Google now, right? Google, you type what you want. Google will actually predict what you're looking for before you finish typing the sentence. So that is what AI is. And AI fully is artificial intelligence, right? It is artificial because it is not us. We are the ones that are natural. Our intelligence was given to us by Allah, but the computer is trying to mimic us. So it's artificial. It's not original. So I'm spending my time muting everyone that comes in, at the same time trying to concentrate on what I'm talking about. So just excuse me if you notice that I stutter a little bit. It's because I'm stopping to. Um, okay, I can see some people are saying they can't hear me on the chat, and I can also see from the screen here that it's fading a little bit. Okay, you know what's going to happen? I'll send the recording. I'll send the recording so that everyone can watch, so that you wouldn't miss anything. So those that are saying they can't really hear me, don't worry, there's a recording. You'll be able to listen to that again. Okay, so that is AI. When you type, it automatically suggests what you're going to write, and then you can select from all the suggestions. So that is AI at work. Then um, some of us feel that AI is still coming. Those of us that are still way behind, we feel that AI is coming. AI that has come and has taken over. AI has actually done, in fact, AI has gone with a lot of us. It's already on our phone, it's in the bank, it is in our hospitals right now as I speak, and it is knocking loudly on the doors of our classrooms. And those of us that refuse to open the doors for AI, we are the ones that are going to be depriving our children with the skills they need now and in their own future. So the earlier we opened AI to our classrooms, the better for us and the children, because it's just like when the internet came. Some people were scared of using the internet because they didn't think it was I don't know, they just didn't trust the internet, and I just don't know why. And people were saying the internet has come to stay. Well, AI has now come. That's the new revolution now. AI has come and it has come to stay. Everything is evolving around AI now. So you have just the way you have computers and computer literacy going across all spectrums and industries, the same way you have AI going across all industries. So anybody that is doing any course currently, is studying any course in any school or any profession at all, it's expected that you upgrade your skills along with AI, not independent of AI. I hope you are following. So today we're not here. I'm not here to scare you, definitely not, but definitely just to enlighten us and to draw our attention to what we are sleeping on. Okay, so let us just try to understand it. Let us own it, and let's use it to become the most effective educators that we can ever be. Because we have gotten into the phase of using AI in almost everything, even in our phones. When we type, you find out that there's auto suggestions. That is AI. So tell me, how do we want to live and how do we want to exist in the 21st century without being conscious of what AI has brought? How? It wouldn't work. We really have to be responsive and sensitive to what is, being brought to us today, and pick it up, master it, and run. And that's how it will be of benefit to the children that we have. So officially, we'll start from the very beginning, and I will try to be as quick as possible so that we can go back and rest and sleep. Okay? So artificial intelligence is simply the ability of a computer or a machine to think, to learn, and to make decisions in a way that mimics how human beings think. They mimic how human beings think, and that is why it is artificial. So let's think of it this way, okay? So we have a teacher who observes a child struggling, maybe identifies the problem, and then adjusts how they teach. Like I always say, in the past, what we did then, I don't know if teachers still do that, but what is the right thing to do is, if you teach and you find out that probably a child is not responding, then you adjust your own way of teaching. You don't accuse the child of not being able to learn. So that's exactly what I'm talking about here. AI does the same thing. Okay, it observes our patterns, the way we ask questions, the way we browse, the way we use our phones, and then the way we click on ads, everything we do. And then it identifies our needs, and then it adjusts its responses. Do you understand? That is why a lot of times when you go onto TikTok or Facebook and you click on a particular video, it readjusts your views to videos of that particular nature or those that are like it. Or if you click on a link, or for instance, if you click on, let me see, if you download an app or you go to a particular site, maybe you want to shop, you shop for a particular pair of shoes. By the time you go back to another website, you will see ads of that particular shoe on the website that you are. So that is auto suggestion. That is what the algorithm does. It masters your pattern, what you think about, what you browse about, and then it helps, it keeps, oh my God, it keeps on suggesting these things to you. Okay, so that is artificial intelligence. So, in simple terms, AI is very fast, it is very intelligent, and it never sleeps, it never gets tired. In fact, it keeps getting better the more we use it. And what I want to say is every time we type, every time we try to, anytime we do anything with our devices, AI is mastering our patterns. It's mastering what we do, and it will always keep getting better the more we use it. So we are training AI as we use it. Okay. So let me see. Before we bring it into the classroom, let us appreciate how deeply AI is already woven in our daily activities. So I'll just bring your attention very quickly to Netflix or YouTube. And
Okay.
if you go to YouTube, if you go to YouTube and you click on a particular video, what it does is it continues or automatically suggests like videos to you. If you go to Netflix, the same thing. Then your bank. When your bank sends you a fraud alert, that is AI. It auto responds. And when Google Maps reroutes, I don't know if you use Google Maps, sometimes if you're using Google Map and you're taking a particular route, if you go off that route, it would readjust and direct you probably through another way to get to where you want to go to. That is AI doing its thing. Okay, it will even tell you the density of traffic ahead and then resuggest probably an easier way or a shorter way. That's AI. So I'm trying to bring our attention back. And then when you have Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant answer your questions on your phone and you say, "Hey Siri," and Siri says, "Yes, what do you want me to do for you?" And you tell it, that is AI. And your emails, it filters spam automatically. Or sometimes, if you notice, for those of us who use emails frequently, as you're typing, you see it auto suggests certain phrases so that you can use it. Okay, so that is AI. And hospitals uses it to scan and to get their jobs done faster. So I want us to know that it is not a luxury technology. It is something that is now a daily tool for billions of people, and they are already using it, whether we know it or not. And education should be the last place that should be at the back. Education specifically should be in front, because that is how we know that we are sensitive to the global economy and what it has come to bring or what it has brought to us. We know what is going on outside, we bring it down and filter it to the understanding of the children that we have. We train our teachers with any new technology that is of benefit to us, and then we take advantage of it. Not being oblivious or claiming not to know what is going on or not to have interest. It's our job to have interest, because our children are going to be sent out into the world, and they're going to serve as labor for other businesses, or they're going to be business starters. So let's bring it home into our schools, into our classrooms, into our staff rooms. So AI in education, it means that you have to use intelligent tools and systems to improve how we teach, how students learn, and how schools are managed. So if we become comfortable with all these things, don't mind me. I'm still muting as they're coming in. I'm muting because it's just interrupting me. Okay. All right. So as you come in, kindly mute your mic so that you don't interrupt the flow of what we are doing here. So when we have AI, right, involved in what we are doing in the classroom, teachers use AI, students, it depends on the level of children that you have. It could be senior secondary, it could be tertiary, it could be preschool. But if we understand the tools well, we would know how to dish it out to them. And we would know how to. Okay, so using AI means that a student in, let's say, Kano, can personalize feedback, on their writing at midnight, and no teacher will be present to do any of that. Or a school leader somewhere in Abuja can analyze the performance of data of probably 500 students in minutes. And it also means that a student or a teacher in Lagos can prepare a full week of lesson plans in one afternoon instead of five. I remember discussing with a couple of teachers during one of my trainings, and I gave them a deadline to write their lesson plans. And I asked them, I usually do this when I communicate, I ask you to tell me when you're going to give me feedback. So I asked them when their lesson plans were going to be ready. And they told me, some of them said next week. Some said, no, maybe 2 weeks. They were giving me their own dates. And I told them no, that they were to give me the lesson plan for 12 weeks this afternoon. And they looked at me. I was like, yes, I want all your lesson plans for 12 weeks this afternoon. And by the time I was done with that session, they were able to submit their lesson plans that afternoon. So the reason why I gave this example is because if I just talk about AI without giving you examples, you will not understand the gravity of what we are leaving on the table. Why, in God's name, are you still writing lesson plans and typing it when you can ask AI to do all of that generic stuff for you? It's like solving complicated questions using a calculator, right? You have a calculator to help you check, let's see, um, to help you calculate large numbers, complex questions. And instead of using the calculator so you can get on with your mathematical sums or finish, you decide to start counting and writing one after the other in your notebooks. Please, can you make that make sense? It doesn't make sense. Using calculators are actually meant to help you speed up the process and solve complex questions. That is exactly what AI has come to do, nothing more than that. It has come to make your job easier. So why are we not using it? If you are able to hand over all the generic stuff to AI, believe me, you would have more quality time to do what matters the most, connect with your children. So it's not about replacing the teacher, because it can never replace the teacher. It doesn't even have the ability to replace the teacher. because it cannot connect. It doesn't have touch. It is artificial. It can only mimic us. So it remains at that level, and we should know exactly how to use it. It has come to serve us. It's about removing the things that drain the teacher so that the teacher can show up fully for what only a human being can do, which is to inspire children, to connect with children, and to nurture children. AI cannot hug a child. AI cannot understand and go and do and listen to children who have a quarrel back and forth and give valuable advice. AI can't do that. They can just mimic the way we respond, and that is where it stays. So I know some of us are scared, or some of us have that fear about what AI does or what it's about. But believe me, if you are grounded in your deen, if you understand who Allah is and your place on earth and your Quran is close, you will use it for what it is and leave it at what it is. It is just to facilitate your task, not to replace your brain. It is to facilitate our tasks, not to replace our brain. So I'm going to go through some of our fears, and one of it is what I had mentioned earlier. Some people had called me and told me that it was dangerous, that is not something that we should be using. And I just acknowledge that. Alhamdulillah. Okay. And then some people feel that it has come to take our jobs, so they don't want to indulge. They don't want to indulge. Kindly mute your mics, people. Mute your mics. I'm still stopping my discussion to mute mics here. So this is the most common fear. It has come to replace our jobs, and it cannot. It doesn't have the ability to replace our jobs. So I've told you already how to use it. It is just to facilitate our activities. Anything you want to do, you just ask it to do it, and it will facilitate your jobs, and then you move on. And it cannot replace the relationship a teacher builds with children. A teacher can notice if a child is sad today. A teacher can notice who is celebrating some form of happiness, and a teacher can celebrate happiness. A teacher can celebrate a breakthrough with genuine joy. AI can replace routine tasks, but it cannot replace human connection. So I hope I've been able to remove that from our thinking. Who is this person? I keep muting, but they keep coming back unmuted. Mute your mics, please. I think with this, right, we're not going to use WhatsApp any longer. Inshallah, we're not going to use WhatsApp. We're going to go to TikTok. We use TikTok, and it's a final muting system. It doesn't even permit you to. It doesn't permit you to interfere with the lessons. Can you imagine? Somebody is still disturbing. Somebody is still disturbing. So sad. Educators, it's so sad. So sad that we can't just do something so simple. Hmm? This is part of the problem. Okay, so I've tried to mute as many people as possible that I can. Okay, so where was I? So some of us also think that it is complicated, and honestly, it's as easy as typing into Google. I've seen people who they just, I don't know, they just feel it's something bigger than them, and it's a technology for young people, and it's for old people, it's for everybody. It's not only for experts, it's for all of us. Okay. And the most powerful tools today are designed to be as simple, as having a conversation. So if you are still scared, you're just wasting your time. And if you can send a message on WhatsApp, you can definitely use AI. So I know some teachers have mentioned it to me as well, that it makes students lazy. It doesn't make them think. That we shouldn't indulge children because they stop thinking and then they just go use AI for assignments, and that's that. But it depends on you. You know, I know this is real and it's an important concern, but the answer is not to avoid AI outright, because if we do that, we are also depriving them. It is to teach students how to use it responsibly, just the way students taught how to use the internet responsibly. The same way we taught them how to use a calculator as a tool, not as a substitute for our brain, but as a substitute. But to help us understand mathematics faster. So if you use the computer, if you use the calculator, you understand mathematics faster because you get tasks done very quickly, and that's what it's meant for. So it doesn't make them lazy. It depends on how creative you are as an educator. You know, And some educators feel that it's a Western solution and not a local thing. Please, it is for all of us. It is for all of us all over the world, because now I'm holding this phone and AI is doing a lot of work for me. Okay. And our creativity would help us. It challenges us to adapt these tools, creatively, not to defy them or go away from them. And then some people say they use it to cheat, and it leads to academic dishonesty. And it's also a valid concern. But cheating existed long before AI even came into play. So people were also cheating then. AI will not amplify it. It just depends on the modalities we put in place. The solution is to reassess, or should I say, to adjust our assessment design or move from tasks that AI can do to tasks that require human thinking, creativity, and contextual understanding. So it also takes the creativity of the teacher. Okay. Now, let us talk business. Let me tell you what AI will do for us. AI makes things faster. Okay. I know what it does for me. It makes things incredibly faster. It's a lot faster than any human brain, because what you sit down and try to articulate, you tell a computer, and in seconds it will get it done for you. And it can personalize your experience at scale. It's available 24 hours, 7 days a week, and it can spot errors. It reduces human errors. When you use the system with AI, all your errors can be eradicated just by inputting it into a system. And it gives you high quality resources as well, and it's accessible to everyone regardless of your location or budget. You know, and should I say it democratizes expertise? Anyone can use it. A small school in a rural area in Nigeria can access the same quality of support as a school in London. So the internet has not only made it easy for us to get high quality education, AI has also made it access. Has also. Okay, now I'm hearing my voice. Can you mute your mics, please? Thank you. So let's see. Now I've lost where I was. Okay, so it's about, I think I was talking about accessibility, right? The computer, the internet, and AI. So wherever we are, anywhere in the world now, we don't have excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. We can reach any information, anything we want from any corner in the world. Okay, so now I'll talk about why it is so important, the benefits, especially for educators and school leaders. So this is where it gets quite exciting for all of us. Let us get ready. I'll start with teachers first. For teachers, what AI can do for you. Can you please listen and go and practice it immediately, starting from tomorrow? It drastically reduces your time spent on lesson planning. Please, you don't need to spend a week on writing your lesson plans or typing your lesson plans. Give AI the demographics of your classroom and let it do the job. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you are done. If there's a mistake, you readjust it, you are done. Give it a prompt to do one sample lesson plan. Once it has gotten what you want, or if it doesn't get what you want, you give it an example, you tell it no, readjust it this way, do it this way. Once you get it the first time, once you get the very first template of a lesson plan, then you ask it to repeat using the following topics. Okay? So it helps you to save your lesson plan. Your save time on lesson planning. And how would it know the topics you're going to do? You have to feed it information of your curriculum, your scheme, your subject, your topics, everything. Give it all of that and let it do the job for you, and you move on to something that is more worthy of your time. So for teachers, it will save you time on lesson plan. Now, it helps differentiate instruction for different ability levels. You have children who are strugglers in your classroom, and you have children who are fast. If you can, if you have given, let me see. Okay, let me leave that for last. So what you can do is, because you have children of different abilities in your classroom, AI can actually help you to differentiate learning in your classroom. So it can suggest sums. So you can use AI to differentiate your learning. Okay, I'll tell you how. Just listen, please. Your chat box can actually can give you suggestions on what the kind of sums you're going to give certain children and sums you're going to give, for instance, if it's mathematics, other children, okay, on the same topic. AI can do that for you and solve it without any issues at all. And then it can provide instant feedback on students' work. And that is only if your school is based on, how would I put it? If your record, if your base, if your record, if you feed AI with the information in your school, it can always give you instant feedback. Or if your LMS is connected to an AI, it would always give you feedback on individual students by the end of the term, or you can make it summative. Then it generates creative teaching ideas and activities on demand. For instance, if you are stuck, right, in the past, if we used to have these lesson reviews, where teachers had meetings and then you presented a couple of topics that you were going to give to you're going to give your children for the following week, and then everybody would give you ideas on how you could play the topic out in the class in such a way that it's going to be interactive and fun and functional for the children. But with AI, you can actually ask AI questions about the topic. You want to teach this topic, give me ideas on this, give me ideas on that. Especially when you know that you've taught so hard and you don't know how to meet your behavioral objectives, just ask AI. And all of that can be done so quickly. It also helps generate report writing and parent communication. I believe here is where I strongly feel that it doesn't allow our teachers to think, because where AI does all of this, you don't you you allow yourself to just, you get carried away with the fact that you have a teaching assistant. Yes, AI is your teaching assistant, right? And you forget that you have to think, because sometimes AI is not that smart because it makes a lot of mistakes. So you feeding it information without cross checking would not make you a teacher who is proactive, but a teacher who doesn't know what he or she is doing. So let's not get carried away that AI can do this, AI can do that. You have to be able to cross check. For instance, if you're using a calculator as well, sometimes you may mispress the buttons, and when you see the answer, you will know that no, 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 this answer cannot be less than 100. It's supposed to be up to 1,000 because you know what you imputed. The same thing with AI. There are certain results that AI would give you that you will know that no, this is not right. For instance, there are times when I need some information from AI and I feed it the bulk information I need to give it. And then when I get the feedback, I know that it's rubbish. Then I ask it, I say, but I asked you to do this. Why didn't you do it this way? It will say, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Let me do it again. I need to do it again. And if I go through it and I see that it's not what I want, I will say, but I told you, but you have repeated this in the past. Why are you doing it again? It will tell you, oh, I'm sorry. Let me do it again, until you get exactly what you want. So it saves time, but it shouldn't stop us from thinking. Okay, so let's not get carried away that AI is here doing all of that, and then we think we can just copy and paste. An intelligent educator doesn't copy and paste. We just use it to speed up processes. We go through it and be sure that it aligns with our goals, and then we can continue. So it supports teachers who are not confident in certain subjects. So, for instance, you're asked to teach a class, a subject or a topic, or you're asked to fill in for someone, and you're not an expert in that subject, and you're the only person that can fill in for that person. Just go to AI. All right, I've been asked to teach this class, this topic, and I'm not good enough. How can I do this? Okay. And there's a prompting technique. Please remind me to give you a prompting technique before we close. So you don't just, drop the instruction. There's a technique. And I'll give some time to ask questions. I'm almost done. And then it makes resources, it makes you to create your resources faster and beautifully and professionally. And one example is Canva. There are multiple Canva alternatives, but Canva is, I don't know what I'm going to say about Canva that you would understand. It's a free tool. There's a paid version that makes you use more advanced features, but the free version is good enough. You can create, oh, yes, salam. You can create worksheets with Canva. You can create tracing sheets with Canva. You can create coloring books with Canva. You can create flyers with Canva. You can create videos with Canva. You can create lesson plans with Canva. You can do so many things with Canva. There is Canva for education, and I believe that is free. You just need your school domain, you understand, before you can have it for free. But teachers, don't sleep on this. Don't sleep on this. If you don't know how to use Canva AI, please go and learn it. You can't afford to be left behind because the children we have today are way ahead of us, and that is not how it's meant to be. We as educators have to ensure that we are ahead of them to be able, in fact, the children we have today, we ought to be 10 years ahead of them to be able to meet up with them. That is a fact. We need to be like 10 years ahead of these children to be able to meet up with them because they are so fast, especially when it comes to technology. Okay. So for school leaders, I believe with these tips I've given you for teachers, teachers should be able to multiply. I gave you like, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You should be able to have like 21 new ideas based off of what I've given you. So please do your research and take full advantage of AI because it helps. It helps. Okay. So for school leaders, we can analyze students' performance data quickly and accurately, especially if we have an AI that is connected to a GPT. Okay. If we don't, we can actually do that. Then we support strategic planning and school improvement. Now, let me tell you, if let me see, if you have, if you have, but we should use this responsibly. Okay, let's use it responsibly. If you can always chat with AI, and I want to tell us that AI can be our administrative assistant, our teaching assistant, okay, our reception assistant. It is an assistant for every office within the school space, and we should just use it as a tool to speed up generic processes, not to take over our job. If not, the loophole will scream loud at you, and irresponsibility would be on your forehead, and we don't want that. So, streamline administrative communication. We can do that. Helps with policy writing, timetabling, and staff management. Now, with this particular one, policy writing, if you just tell it, write policies for my school, you are not doing yourself justice. Okay? You are not doing yourself justice. You can use AI in such a dumb way and an unintelligent way, and it will give you the kind of results that you gave it. I mean, that aligns with the kind of prompt that you've given it. Dumb and unintelligent. Let me give a quick example of how you can prompt AI to give you exactly what you want. Let me see. Can somebody give me a document? Give me one example of a document. So I'll analyze this particular document for you, and you would be able to know how to create other documents on your own. Can somebody unmute his or her mic and then give me a sample document you want AI to produce for you, and I'll tell you how to make the best of it. Okay, kindly. Somebody, please. We are all educators. Nobody should be shy here. Please, please, please. I expected a rush. Everybody should just unmute, but nobody is talking. So this is the result of how we were brought up. Okay, this is one of the results. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now, please.
How about something on staff leaves?
Staff leave.
Policy on staff leave.
Oh, policy on staff leave. Okay.
Job offer. Job offer.
Job offer.
Okay. Let's do job offer. Job offer is good.
Okay, fine. Let's use job offer. All right. So there is one way you can do it. Okay. I'll use my vegetable salad example, and then I'm going to use a direct Google search kind of prompting, and then I'll give you the correct way to prompt. So if you want to make vegetable salad, and I tell my friend that, all right, I would like to have vegetable salad, right? So she would go and prepare vegetable salad the way she knows how to make it. Then I call somebody else and tell that person that I would like vegetable salad. However, when you're making it, I don't want you to use mayonnaise or salad cream. I always love to use olive oil on my vegetable salad. And I prefer lettuce thinly sliced. I also prefer my cabbage, you know, chopped off in chunks. I don't want it sliced. Then carrots, I don't want you to grate carrots. I want you to cube my carrots. That's how I love my salad. And when you're giving it to me, I prefer you to sprinkle some lime on it. When you have lime on it, it just makes me enjoy my salad to the fullest. In fact, nobody's salad can ever be as delicious as the way I have just told you to do it for me. So please do it for me that way. Now, when these two people bring the salad back to me, which one is going to be the one that will be exactly the way I like it? A or B?
B, of course.
Ah, thank you. You see that response? B, of course. Because I have told the person exactly what I want, down to the dressing, down to how to chop it, down to the kind of plate you should use to serve it. I've told them everything. So, of course, I'm going to get what I want. And if that person brings the salad and doesn't use olive oil and they use salad cream, I would still say, no, I told you to use olive oil, not salad cream. And the person say, oh, I forgot, and go back. Now, that is exactly how to prompt. Okay. So let's use job offer. You can just go to ChatGPT and say, do me a job offer for a let me see. Oh, did you say job offer or job description? I had job description in my head. What did you mean?
An offer letter.
Offer, offering the person a job. All right.
Yes.
So
An employment letter. Okay.
which one now? It's employment letter. Let me just stick with offer letter, letter of offer. All right. So you go to ChatGPT. That's one. That's just one interactive AI, and tell it, do me a chat. I mean, a letter of offer for my employees, for my teacher. It's going to spit out whatever it can to you. However, when it does that, if you are a responsive educator or school leader, you will read it and see that okay, there are certain things that it doesn't let me see, that doesn't satisfy what I want for my school. So first of all, you would have to tell it certain things. You have to give it a role. You give it a role. You are this. You are not a chef. You are not a cyclist. You are a school leader. Then give it context. Who is very particular about detail. It is a nursery school. Who leads a nursery school or a primary school or a Montessori school, whatever. Give it all the context that you need it to understand before writing that letter. So the first thing is you give it a role. This is who you are. So that when it is preparing that offer letter, it would prepare the offer letter from the first person of the person giving it out. That is the rule. The second thing is the context. So whatever it is you want it to understand about your offer letter, you tell it. It's a Montessori school, it's an Islamic school, it's a faith-based school, it is a it's a sports school, it's a skating school, and what other context? Can anybody give me ideas of context? I want this to be a rich example so that I don't have to go over it again. Give it as much context as you want. Tell it that you should make it not more than 500 words or 200 words, and tell it to use a simple English. You don't want it to use complex language. You want it to include the JD or not to include the JD. So you give it context. When you give it context, then you now give it instruction. Okay, you now give it instruction. So you are let me see, you are a school leader, or you are the principal of a primary school, of a secondary school, of a vocational school, and you you have, I'm looking for something that is not generic, that is not too common.
I'm educated.
Ah, yes, I'm looking for something that is not too common to serve as a context. Or we are just coming out of COVID.
Yeah,
Yes, please go ahead.
a 70-30 school.
Okay, yes. So we are very good. So you're in for, well, that would have been a lot more useful if you are preparing a JD. a job description, but we can still include that. So this is the kind of school that we have where children do more of the instruction, more of the learning, more of the agency of the classroom, while teachers take 30%. And we just came out of COVID, and a lot of children have shifted online. We um, we are very emotionally grounded in this school. What else? What else? What else? Discipline is key. Just tell it as many things as you want it to understand about your school. Okay. And then you can now give it the instruction. Write me a letter of offer, right? For a primary 5 teacher or a grade 5 teacher or an early years teacher. Give it that instruction. Not more than 75 words, 750 words, blah, 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 blah. That is instruction. Then negation. Tell it what not to do. Don't make it too long. Don't make it sound like every other school. Don't make it sound this. Don't bring in your ideas. Don't. In such a way that by the time it writes out your letter of offer, the mistakes or the corrections will be very minimal. It will be highly minimal because you've given it the role. You've given it the role, yes. You've given it context to work with. You've given it the instruction, and you've been able to tell it what not to do. So when it produces the information you want, then the adjustments will just be very, very minimal. Okay, so let's quickly move on because there are some other things I really want to see. And then it makes professional development planning more targeted and effective because you can now give it prompts. You can tailor everything you want towards getting the best out of your instruction. So that's for teachers and school leaders. So whatever role you play,
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good evening to you.
Good evening. We are having a lesson. Can you just hold on until it's over? Then you can ask questions. Is that okay?
This is hello.
Is that okay? Just
Hello?
hold on. We are in the middle of a training now. So once the training is over, then you can ask questions. Okay? All right, let's continue. So let me introduce some tools that I'm quite excited about. Not so excited, but there's, I think, one or two that I'm excited about. And I've told you about one already. So the first one is what we all know, GPT. Okay? They've been upgrading it, and we have Gemini and should I say Copilot. Before I start that, I wrote something down. Let me check for where I wrote it. There's something I wanted to quickly inform you all about. Let me show you. Let me tell you what it is. I think. Aha. All right. So there's AI has been categorized, okay, by some people. But I found it and just felt I should just drop it here in between our training. So it might be useful to you, it might not be, but just have this information and hold it so that you know where you are, and then you know whether how far up the ladder you need to go. So you have people who are, they call them the cavemen, and there are those who don't know much about AI. So they still use Google Search, Siri, and then Microsoft Copilot. So Siri, of course, is for Apple, and then Google Search, Google, Microsoft, and Copilot is Microsoft. So those ones still use search engines to do their work, and they are the bottom 10 of AI users. There's no shame, but this is just information for us. Then there are the tourists, and these are the people who use ChatGPT, Gemini, and Meta AI. All right? Yes. And these ones, this group of people know about AI, but they still use it as a basic chat box. And they're at the bottom 25%, meaning that you are still playing. You're still playing. You don't know what is possible. You're still playing. Some of us just give instructions. Do this for me. Do that for me. Do this for me. And the AI will just spit out. GPT will just spit out whatever it wants to. And we feel we have done something. We are still at the bottom 25%. Then we have another set of people, the weekend warriors, and those people are AI curious. Those are the ones using Claude AI. People don't sleep on Claude AI, and they're lovable. So they're in the middle, right in the middle, 50% mark. And these ones are experimenting. They are curious about what AI is about. And then there are the operators. They use Claude Cowork, they use Lindy and Menace. So they use AI very well and they know what to look for when picking tools. And they probably use their businesses, they set their businesses on autopilot. Automation. Yeah, automations. They use automations a lot because they understand what tools to use for their businesses and they already understand what AI is about. So those ones they are the operators, they've gone far already. And then the last category are the owners. They use Cloud Code, Codex, and Anti-Gravity. Those ones, they are the top 1% of AI users. They are also they build with AI and they own what they build. So that is all. I've dropped the information. I just felt I should mention it. So where are you on that table? If you know you're still at the bottom, you need to climb up. If you're in the middle, well, it wouldn't hurt to learn more, but that middle mark is the sweet spot for the regular people. So the first one is GPT, and there are many of them. There's ChatGPT. There is I think Perplexity is for research. GPT has been faced with a lot of competitors, so they keep advancing their levels. And then you have Google Gemini is deeply integrated with Google Classroom and Google Workspace. So if you use Google Classroom, you notice Gemini also helps you with AI functions. You can use ChatGPT effectively for your lesson plans and for content creation and for research. Just give it the right prompting. There is what I call, or should I say, what is called brain dump. That is an idea I believe you should use when you want to prompt AI. Apart from the sequence I taught you earlier on, if you want information from AI, first of all do an immense brain dump. You tell a story, you talk and talk and talk, you say everything you need to say. Don't just ask in one question, give it context, give examples, upload documents, upload links, give it every form of content you need to give it so that you'll be able to give it what you want. And then you now ask it your question. So with everything I've told you, do this for me. So that is a brain dump. You give it all the information you think you can talk like the way I'm talking to you now, talk to it that way and keep on talking, and you find out that the results you will get will be more effective than when you just say, do this for me or write a lesson plan for me. So that is number 2. Then Canva AI, I've already told you about that. It's for creating beautiful visual teaching materials and presentations. I love using Canva for my presentations because they always come out beautiful. Or should I say, I'm just very skilled at that. Then Grammarly is an AI assistant. If you don't have it plugged in your systems, you are missing out a lot. So it's an assistant for teachers and probably students who are older, much older students who write a lot. So it helps them to correct. If you're somebody who isn't good with tenses yet, you still make spelling errors, I wouldn't advise that you jump onto Grammarly just yet until you've adjusted and you've mastered spellings and writing. This will help you because if you just use Grammarly as an intervention for your spellings or writings, you are just going to get dumber. So see how you can perfect your spellings, your writings, and then you can use Grammarly to make things faster for you, not as a replacement for your learning. Okay. Then we have DIFIT, DIFFIT. It adapts any text or resource to different reading levels instantly. Curipod generates interactive lessons and slides from a single prompt. CURIPOD. This one is very good. This one is very good. Then the one that I told you that I'm excited about is Magic School AI. Please go and look for it. Magic School AI. Just the way I'm saying it, that is the spelling. MAGICSCHOOLAI. It's built specifically for teachers. It covers almost every classroom need. Yes, I beat my chest and I say so. Magic School AI. Then there's another one. I don't know if you know Khan Academy. So check out Canmigo by Khan Academy. If you know Khan Academy is a resource on its own. I used it a lot during my master's. So they created Khan Academy. It's an AI tutor, and it's like a teaching assistant in one. An AI tutor and teaching assistant in one. So let us look for Khanmigo. I'll type them in WhatsApp. Am I the only one here? I'll type them in WhatsApp. Okay. I seem to be the only one here. Where is everyone? Can you all hear me? Oh my. All right, let me continue just in case. And then there is all AI.